My name is Jay Reinstein, and I'm a person living, I say, well with Alzheimer's disease. At 57, I was married. I had 3 children, 4 beautiful grandchildren, and I really was having an amazing life. I had a 25-year career in local government, and the last 6 I was serving as the assistant city manager in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I loved being a public servant. I love working in government. And then I noticed something was wrong when I started struggling in meetings, information recall, and just the basic processing of information. So I was a little frustrated, and I ended up calling a friend of mine who's a neurologist at Duke, and that sort of started the process. There was neuropsychologicals and scans and cognitive testing and MRIs. And then it was about 3.5 years ago. I remember my wife told me later she sort of knew what was happening. I didn't. But I remember Dr. O'Brien telling me that I had the early stage Alzheimer's disease. And I thought, oh my God, I had a career. I mean, now when I look back, it was a blur. It was a punch in the gut, as I often say. And I just really didn't know what to do. And I knew I needed to retire early now. I didn't know where my income, I had a great career. And I had to do a will. Didn't even think about a will. And I jumped through a heck of a lot of hoops with Social Security disability. A lot of hoops. Right now, quite honestly, Aduhelm is the only option. I'm in this trial over at Georgetown called LEAD. And the hope was, after I got these amyloid PET scans and the tau PET scans, I was ready to roll. And now this. I'd like to try to see if this drug works for me. And to those opposed to the treatment, please give me an alternative. I know it's a controversial drug, but there is nothing else out there to slow the progression. I'm on Aricept, I'm on Namenda. I just need something. I can't wait. I want to be with my wife and my grandkids. This is what it's all about for me, spending time with my family. I've spent the last several months planning and preparing to start this treatment, as I said earlier, being a part of that Georgetown process. And not sure where that's going to go now. I ask you to start walking a day, a week, a month in my shoes. I am desperate for this treatment. I need something that slows the progression down. I don't want something just to address the symptoms. And we deserve an opportunity to receive this treatment. I am a very social, outgoing, sometimes annoying person. I heard a yes in the audience there. Thank you, Jim. Who wants to keep living my life and enjoying my family. And as I tell people all the time, I am living well with this disease. Granted, this is not something I wanted, but I'm living well. People living with Alzheimer's disease deserve, and as folks talked about today, Terry and others, deserve access to therapies, to treatments, and other conditions. People have received treatments. Other people living with cancer, heart disease, HIV, AIDS, they've received treatment. Treating people living with Alzheimer's disease differently than those with other diseases is simply unacceptable. And it's really quite discriminatory. Quite discriminatory. I've contributed to Medicare for over 40 years. It doesn't look like it. I look younger. Hard to believe 40 years, but it's true. And the money I've contributed has helped others get health care and treatment when they needed it. Now I need the damn treatment. If Medicare's draft coverage policy is finalized, there's no guarantee I would receive treatment. I could actually get the darn placebo. It's crazy. And that only delays the process. And right now, all we have, Terry and Phil and others, it's all about time. I don't have to wait. As John said, I'm not waiting on that delay. The $28,000, we'll try to figure that out, which is outrageous, but I want it. Requiring people with Alzheimer's to locate, enroll, and participate in a clinical trial can be time-consuming. As I said, it's time. Clinical trial sites may not be easily accessible to all who seek treatment. CMS, as other folks have said, has taken an unprecedented step to require an additional clinical trial for a treatment already approved by the FDA. A lot of folks are focusing on Aduhelm. I'm a believer. I want this drug. I understand the controversy. But when people are talking negatively, they're not talking about the class of drugs. The 3 drugs that I've heard of that are in the pipeline that show promise. I want one of these drugs. I want a drug. It's time people living with a progressive disease simply do not have. Let me repeat that. It's about time we do not have. I hope Secretary Becerra, wherever he is that where he is? Secretary Becerra, I hope you're listening. I hope you're peeking out of a window. One of your aides is around here to meet with me and other people living with this disease. We need his leadership. We need your leadership, Secretary Becerra, on this coverage today. Thank you all for being here, and let's make this change happen together. Thank you.